Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Hello and welcome to Rahman Digital Production. This is lecture number 107th of physics. In today's lecture, we are going to discuss some practical applications and hazards of electrostatics. On one hand, if the electrostatic is having advantages, on the other hand, there are disadvantages as well. So we will discuss both of them in today's lecture. First, we are uh, discussing the practical application, and that is in the form of electrostatics. The first very important application which is relating to the environmental pollution is the Flue-ash removal. What is Flue-ash? A mixture of smoke and dust particles. One important application is the removal of flue-ash from a modern coal-fired power station by means of an electrostatic precipitator. The figure is shown, and that is electrostatic precipitator. How it is working, let us discuss it. If the flue-ash is not removed, it would be discharged into the atmosphere, causing serious air pollution. The figure shows how a precipitator attached to the chimney walls removes smoke and dust particles from the waste gases that flow through the chimney into the atmosphere. A precipitator is made up of a number of wires, you can see that in the figure, and plates as well. Also, it is shown in the figure. Remember that the wires are made negatively charged so that they can charge the ash particle negatively when passing through. Similarly, the collector plates are made positively charged to attract and collect the ash particles. The plates are then mechanically shaken to remove the ash which is collected and used as a byproduct. The electrostatic precipitation technique is also important in steel, cement, and chemical industries with the release of large quantity of flue gases. Okay, the second very important application is high voltage generators, which is very technically known as Van de Graaff generator. The Van de Graaff generator is a very useful static charge generator. It can produce a potential difference of voltage of up to 14 millions volt, huge amount. It is used in nuclear research to accelerate subatomic particles. Now, the actual figure is shown on the right side of your screen, and the working principle is also shown on the left side of the screen. Now, there is a metal sphere which is positively charged, and there are two plates. You can see that one side of which is negatively charged and the second one is positively charged. There are two rollers in which one is known as upper roller and the second one is known as lower roller. These are rolling, which is carrying charges positive upward, so that the metal sphere is positively charged, and there is a negatively charged plate which is moving down, and that negatively charged plate is connected with the grounded rod, and when you bring this grounded rod nearer to the metal sphere, there will be a spark due to potential difference. So in this way they can generate a potential difference of 14 millions volts. And in the homes we are using 220 or 440 volts, but it can generate 14 millions volts, which is quite a huge amount. So due to this uh, device we can create the high voltage. Now the very important in the modern technology is the spray painting, uh, where mass automation is required, such as in car production. Electrostatic spray painting is commonly used. The object, such as the car body, to be sprayed and the spray nozzle and hence the paint are given opposite charges. This will result in good adhesion of the paint to every corner of the object to give a uniform layer of paint. This method is effective, efficient, and economical. Now, in the next section, we are going to discuss some hazards of electrostatic lightning. Might be you have seen a rod at the top of the building as shown in the figure, and you might be wondering that what is the main purpose of this rod. Dear learners, this rod is very important as far as the lightning from the clouds is concerned. It is common to see flashes of lightning just before and also during thunderstorm. This is due to a large quantity of electric charge being built up in the heavy thunder clouds. The thunder clouds are charged by friction between the water molecules in the thunder clouds and in the air molecules. When the charge on the thunder clouds is sufficiently large, it can ionize the air, which then provides a conducting path for the huge quantity of charge to be discharged to the nearest or sharpest object on the ground. This explains why it is very dangerous to swim in the open sea, play in an open field, or hide under a tree during a thunderstorm. Soldiers building trenches on mountain tops must never use zinc sheet as a form of shelter during a thunderstorm. To prevent lightning from the damaging tall buildings, lightning conductors are used. The purpose of the lightning conductor is to provide a steady discharge path for the huge number of electrons in the air to flow from the top of the building to the earth. In this way, the chances of a lightning bolt due to sudden discharge is minimized. The second hazard is the fire or explosion. A fire or an explosion may occur due to excessive buildup of electric charges produced by friction. For example, electric charges accumulate on an aircraft during flight and on trucks importing flammable liquids. Some preventive steps may be taken to avoid such hazard. In the case of the aircraft, the tires are made up of slightly conductive rubber so that the large amount of charge buildup on the body of the aircraft during flight can be discharged harmlessly during touchdown. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you can see the aeroplane, and there is a flow of air. When airflow is touching the surface of the airplane, So, due to the friction that the body is negatively charged and that charge is building up with the passage of time, it can produce damage to the aeroplane if it is not being released to the air. So there is an antenna which you can see on the right side of the aeroplane wing. That is the main part through which we are releasing electron back into air and minimizing the uh, damage. Similarly, in trucks, there are steel rods attached to the back of the truck and they are hanging from the truck and touching the road when the transport is taking place. Through that touching, those dangling rods are used to shift the electrons which is produced due to the friction of air with the body of trucks to the earth's surface and minimizing the potential damage to the flammable oil inside that trucks and tankers. Ladies and gentlemen, with this we came to the end of this theoretical chapter. In tomorrow's lecture, we will study the questions relating to these electrostatics. So stay tuned, don't go anywhere. Thank you very much for your time. Allah Hafiz.